my secret confession to my future wife. Future wife, tonight, I need confess something. Not tomorrow, maybe. Not years from now. Tonight feels different somehow. Different than usual. Because there's a secret I've hidden carefully. A secret nobody knows. Not even close friends. Not my family. Not anyone else. And honestly, I've wondered whether telling you would change everything or change nothing. Because some confessions carry a strange kind power, the power to heal or break hearts. And honestly, this one feels exactly like that. Future wife, before meeting you someday soon, there are things you should know, not about my successes, not about achievements, not about the version people usually see. I want sharing the truth instead. The truth behind smiles, the truth behind confidence, the truth nobody notices when I'm laughing. And honestly, the first truth is surprisingly simple. I pretend being stronger than I really am. More often than anyone realizes, honestly, there were nights I felt completely lost. Nights I questioned everything about myself. Nights when silence felt incredibly loud. And honestly, during those difficult moments, I imagined someone I hadn't met, someone listening patiently, someone understanding completely, someone making life feel lighter somehow. And honestly, that person was always you. Even before meeting, even before knowing your name somehow. The strange thing is, people think love begins after meeting, but honestly, sometimes love begins earlier, inside hope itself, inside prayers whispered late at night, inside dreams protected from disappointment carefully. And honestly, that's where you existed for a long time inside my heart without realizing it, without seeing you, without hearing you, yet somehow believing you were real. And honestly, that's crazy. Maybe a little, but it's true. The second confession feels even harder to admit openly because, future wife, one day eventually you'll discover this about me anyway. I get scared more than expected, not of failure, not of criticism, not of challenges. The thing frightening me most is losing someone I truly love. And honestly, that's because I've learned something the hard way. People aren't replaceable. Real connections aren't either. And honestly, when my heart chooses, it chooses completely, without backup plans, without escape routes, without halfway feelings. And honestly, that's dangerous, but also beautiful because one day when I love you with everything inside, every dream included. every prayer included, every hope included. And honestly, that's my biggest secret. The world sees confidence outside, but inside exists a man terrified of losing something he finally finds. Then last week, something unexpected happened. While cleaning my room, I found an envelope hidden years ago. An envelope addressed to my future wife. And honestly, seeing it made me freeze because I remembered writing it once during a lonely night, a night full of emotions, a night where I promised myself if I ever found real love someday, I would share every hidden truth, no matter how difficult. And honestly, after opening that old envelope, I discovered one sentence written in bold, a sentence so personal. I almost stopped reading because if you knew this secret already, you'd understand why I've waited patiently for someone like you. And honestly, the sentence said, my greatest fear isn't ending up alone. It's meeting the right person and not being enough. That one sentence stayed with me long after reading the old letter because honestly, it revealed something deeply personal, something I've hidden for many years. Future wife, the truth isn't complicated, really. My greatest fear was never loneliness. It was finding someone truly special, then wondering quietly whether I deserved her. And honestly, that's a difficult feeling to explain completely because from outside, everything looks normal. Everything looks confident, but inside sometimes questions become louder than certainty itself. Questions like these: would I be enough? Would my flaws become too much? Would my mistakes push her away? And honestly, those thoughts visited more often than anyone knows. Then life taught me something important, something changing everything. Love isn't earned through perfection alone. Love survives because two imperfect people choose each other again and again. And honestly, that realization changed my heart more than expected because suddenly I understood what real love means. It means honesty first, loyalty second, and commitment always. Future wife, another confession waits inside me. A confession nobody has ever heard. Not completely, anyway. Because if one day you become mine, you'll deserve knowing every hidden truth. And honestly, here is the truth. I've already prayed for you countless times without knowing you, without meeting you, without hearing your voice. I've prayed happiness finds you often. I've prayed your heart remains protected always. I've prayed difficult days become easier somehow. And honestly, that's strange. Praying for someone who remains unknown, yet somehow feeling connected regardless, because deep inside, I believe this the right person is worth waiting for, worth protecting emotionally, worth remaining patient for, and honestly, patience hasn't always been easy, especially during lonely nights, especially during difficult seasons when everyone else seemed moving forward while I remained waiting quietly. Then last month, something unexpected happened. A friend asked an unusual question. He asked simply, "What will you say when you finally meet your future wife?" And honestly, I smiled before answering slowly because my answer surprised even me. I said this before anything else, before promises, before forever, before wedding dreams. I'll tell her one honest confession, the confession hidden inside my heart for years already, the confession I've never shared publicly before. And honestly, future wife, if you're listening somehow, this is it. The secret confession I've protected carefully for far too long. I don't need a perfect woman. I don't need a flawless story. I don't need a fairy tale ending. I only need a woman willing to stay honest, stay loyal, and stay beside me when life becomes difficult. Because honestly, if you give me that, I'll spend my life protecting your heart the same way you protected mine without even realizing. And honestly, that's why this confession matters. It's not about secrets, it's not about mystery, it's about a promise. A promise made before we even meet. A promise saying, no matter what happens, no matter what changes, no matter what challenges appear before us, I'll choose you again and again because, future wife, my biggest secret was never fear, was never doubt, was never loneliness. My biggest secret was that somewhere inside I've been saving my entire heart just for you.